Let's for the moment turn to developments in Ukraine, though. Accounts are emerging of brutality and murders carried out by Russian troops in areas just liberated by Ukrainian forces. Ukraine says it's retaken 4,000 square kilometres of territory so far this month. The Lilac area shows the substantial gains Ukraine has made in just 1 week. In one city, Balakliya, the Russians are said to have used the police station as a torture and interrogation centre. This report from our senior international correspondent, Ola Girin, contains details you may find distressing.
Ukrainian police lead us to a crime scene. It's inside their own former police station in the city of Balakliya. For 6 months, the Russians were the law here, and local civilians were at their mercy. A former detainee told us both men and women were tortured with electric shocks. When the Russians took over Balakliya, they occupied this police station and made it their headquarters. They held prisoners here in the cells. Now, we've been told they kept as many as 8 men in cells as small as this. Here on the wall, you can see that somebody has scratched out a prayer, and they've also marked out the days. The police say that local people were terrified to even pass by this building, afraid that they would be captured by the Russians. Ukrainian investigators are here now, beginning to gather evidence about what happened behind these walls, from people like Artyom, who was held for more than 40 days. They made me hold 2 wires, he said, attached to an electric generator. The faster you spin it, the higher the voltage. They kept spinning it and asking questions. They said I was lying, so they did it more. It happened to some prisoners every other day. The Russians made sure everyone inside heard the screams, he says, by turning off the ventilation system. But now freedom has come, a moment of celebration. Ukraine's victory was swift. In a nearby village, neighbours able to meet again, to breathe again, after 6 long months of occupation. For Vasily, there's relief, but he still can't fathom what's happened. Houses have been destroyed, he says. Children have no place to study. We were together with Russia. I was in the army in Moscow. I worked there. My sister is there, and I can't visit her. I don't know if she's dead or alive. The next battles here will be rebuilding, getting power and water back on, and keeping the enemy at bay. The Russians were only pushed out of here last Thursday. One of their final acts was the destruction of this school. Now Ukraine is back in control. The recent gains aren't just a military victory, they're a psychological victory. And they're a message to Ukraine's allies in the West. We can beat the Russians. Keep supporting us. For many, life here now is a hand-to-mouth struggle. Please don't push, he says. Everyone will be helped. But this one small aid truck was quickly overwhelmed. In the queue, Vyacheslav and his granddaughter Zlata, who didn't come away empty-handed. Was she very frightened in the last few months? Zlata, did she understand what was going on? She was very frightened, he told me, hysterical and shouting. She couldn't sleep properly, but we took care of her as best we could. For some, the liberation of Balakliya came too late. Petro Shepel, a taxi driver, was killed with his passenger. The authorities, who exhumed the bodies, say they were shot dead by the Russians. I want to ask Putin why he killed my son, says Valentina, Petro's mother. For what? He's not just killing our children, he's killing us, the mothers. I am dying. And I am speaking to all the mothers of the world. Rebel against that assassin. Petro was her only son. She has vowed to keep speaking for him, demanding justice. Orla Guerin, BBC News, Balakliya.